do you feel about the new policy concerning the cash, like the old cash being circulation?
Okay, so while a lot of people are saying that it was what's that word now, that it was a cash mop up, that they just used that one to collect all the money in circulation, and that maybe it wasn't even about the elections at all. The Supreme Court's reversal of President Buhari's statements, and their stance on it, I'm not too impressed. I haven't seen cash yet. Have you been to any ATMs?
No, I haven't. ATMs are still...
They're not dispensing.
Still so many. I saw one which was dispensing, and they queued there.
So imagine...
But I feel like we were played.
By who?
By whoever made the cash, not the old cash to be illegal, to not be legal tender. I feel like we're played, because after the whole stress we went through, people ran to the bank, went and paid in their old cash. Yes, and then we started suffering. So why did you make us go through this whole stress, all to come and tell us that the cash will still be in circulation till December?
Every CBN governor sort of has a hold over Nigeria at some point, and I'm also, as the only two that I can remember well are the current governor of Anambra State, Charles Soludo, whose own policy at the time, Charles Soludo, that handed over to His Excellency Sanusi Lamido Sanusi, right? So their tenures are kind of close. Under Soludo's government, that's how come we have 25 banks. Remember, we had millions of banks in Nigeria. Everybody just running their own games. So, but I think there was a policy then that they had to bring some certain amount of money. I don't remember what it was, but they reduced the number of banks in Nigeria then to 25. Come on, back in the days, bank queue, my God, to enter one bank, you see the queues outside, and banks, they didn't have so many branches across Nigeria. So you can go to one part of the country, you find one bank only in that part of the country. Like in Kaduna, then we only had Habib Bank. There was no Habib Bank in Lagos. You understand? And banks were not this widespread then. So every CBN governor comes up with their own policy. So it was during Lamido Sanusi's, I'm trying to remember what, there were new policies he brought up at that time as well that people were not quite comfortable with. We used to call him the bow tie governor, because with his glasses, the bow tie, he had some strict policies as well. And then, of course, this current man, Governor of the Central Bank, Godwin Emefiele.
Yes.
Nigerians are not smiling either.
At all.
And so even if his was just more of a simple thing as bringing new currencies, it has come at a price, like you said. Nobody's smiling about it. It's not funny at all, because we're not politicians. Some people don't even have up to 500,000 naira in their accounts. I know we've been saying this consistently for the past 3 months now, that some people, they don't even have up to 100k, and you are making life difficult for them to even get it. I went to buy engine oil yesterday, and the guy said I should give you cash. I said, where in this Nigeria do you want me to give you cash? Gosh. So we're back on the show. I'm Rayo Omotoso, and you've been listening to the voice of Muna, just representing regular Nigerians out there, because we were not the elite Nigerians. So we're every day your regular, how we used to say in the 90s, say your girl next door. That is us. So you can even jam us on fuel queue. Or bank queue. We're not forming at all. Reality has hit us in Nigeria. So everything is happening all at once. Funny enough, that's the title of a movie. Everything happening all at once. That's been the case of Nigeria in the past 6 months.
Honestly.
And the thing is, time does not wait for anybody. Would you believe it that we're already in the 3rd month of the year? This is March. So it means from December we don't chop. But we have been suffering.
We have been suffering
in Nigeria, honestly. And so even though that's not our topic this afternoon, we've just brought up light banter, which is what we usually do on Perspectives. This is a round table where we discuss pretty much everything from politics to health, to pretty much social issues, as the topics come. This is International Women's Month. You know that March 8th, that's 2 days away, is International Women's Day. So if there are special women people want to appreciate Bikono, please just send us messages, and we'll use that to prepare for the show on Wednesday. So what we brought to your table this afternoon is something that you know about, because we talked about it in part last week, Friday. We talked about the fact that Nigeria is experiencing a new season. We're in a new time, and there's no how that will say that we have experienced this in Nigerian politics before. People who have been in Nigeria, on the Nigerian political scene since maybe the 60s to the 70s, You know how the seasons change. There's not one season that was okay. This is how it has been from 1993 till this time. It's always a game changer.
Yes.
But even more so, there's the biggest surprise ever for us in this season was the gifts. I can call it the gifts of the third force. In Nigeria politics, it has always been. Of course, there are many parties. There are always two guns in the game. And so this, the emergence of the third force in Nigeria's political scene is a welcome development for me. I agree, 110%. So, why are we even talking about the third force this time around? We're talking about it for two reasons. One, because there's a gubernatorial elections coming out in the next 6 days, right? We'll be choosing some states, except 6, I think, will be choosing the next governor of their state. I think Kogi is not going this time around. Ekiti is not going this time around. Osun is not going this time around. I think some states in the south are not going this time around. So, when we talk about the third force in Nigerian politics, I've never had this robust, this engaging for the youth especially. There's a very popular song that says the revolution will not be televised. I think it was don't let me go and commit myself, but it's an old song. And I remember in university we used to say it's the revolution. If you know about Nan's president, you know about Aluta Continua, they tell you that the revolution will not be, it will just happen. So when people start saying that this our revolution of the young people in Nigeria will not be televised, I said no, it will be. In fact, it will be faster than television because it will be online.
Honestly.
It will be real time self that they will be talking about it. In 2015, when the All Progressives Congress came together as a mega party, do you remember? I know you don't remember. You were saying university at the time, right?
Yes.
And so the idea was they were going to wrestle almighty PDP to the ground. PDP had been in power since 1999 with former President Olusegun Obasanjo as the chief flag bearer at that time. And so PDP ruled for 16 years. So 2015, APC went to go and bring heavyweights. They brought why are you laughing now? Because we have to set the table for this third force. So they say that what happened to the third force in Nigeria? This is what happened. So the APC merged with the National NCP, the Action Congress of Nigeria, the African Democratic, all of them came together and they were able to force APC out of business. PDP. That was 2015. And they've sustained it from 2015 till 2023. So, but in between, there's a party called Labour Party, which had been there. In fact, it was set up as the Party for the People now. It was set up by, I think, Adams Oshiomhole at the time. And Oshiomhole is not even in PDP. He's not even in the Labour Party anymore. And so it wasn't even the party. This third force was not the party. It was the individual. It was the candidates that emerged under the party that stirred things up a bit. I don't know how or when Nigerians, lots of people took up the liking to the what they call it now, the flag bearer for the Labour Party. That is the best of Peter Obi. But suddenly, everybody, well, not everybody, more young people resonated with his what they call it now. What they call that thing now? They resonated with his personality, and
that's why I always say that instead of let's vote for party.
Yeah,
that's why I said no point voting for party. Look at the personality, because he came from PDP.
Yes,
the same PDP they are rejecting.
Yes,
he came out from PDP. So what would you say about that now?
If we're talking about party,
exactly, we're talking about party. So to me, it's just the personality that matters.
But that has always been the African. That's where I was going. That Africa, we like personality-driven politics. We know this man. We know his great-great-grandfather. We know where he lives. You know, that kind of thing. So we're not even particular about what the person has to offer. We just
just the party.
A lot of Northerners. A lot of Northerners resonated with President Muhammadu Buhari because Tiwantiwa now our own. You understand? That was in 2015. But some parts of the north, of course, there are Northerners as well. They said, no, we know this man, we know his antecedents, but we don't want him as president. But down south, some people packaged President Muhammad Buhari and brought him to us and say, this man, in fact, I even wanted to say something to you earlier in the day. Do you remember how when President Buhari was sworn into office, we said that this man is going to catch anybody that has been misbehaving? That was
yes.
I was afraid of.
My mom kept on hammering that when Buhari comes,
he would deal with people.
He would, all these people stealing money.
He would deal with. You know, and so that's how they gave them the single treasury account, actually. And so he came up because they sold us that idea of, oh, this man, if he catches you, you are done for. You know, President Obasanjo set up the EFCC, and that was what he wanted the EFCC to do. But this one, the fear of President Buhari was the beginning of wisdom. Many people were afraid.
Yes,
but the man came 6 months, he has not even set up his cabinet, and the next day everybody was angry that.
But he still touched corruption a bit, though.
How? See how, you know how you say you are saving money in a basket? Yes, now there's a back door and some people are quaffing the money, you know. So, but seriously, let's look at the third first. This 2023 elections, it was a big deal for Nigeria. Do you remember? Okay, you were not around, but I had said that, to quote Fisayo Shoyombo, who is a phenomenal Nigerian journalist. He said this election will be decided by the youth, pure and simple. Why did he say that? He said 26 million students are registered voters. He says 37 million voters are aged between 18 to 43, as in they're the ones, and true, many people came out in droves.
Do you think that actually the youths are the ones that decided the outcome of this election?
I think to a large extent okay, so let's divide Nigeria geopolitically. In the south, in the southeast, in the south, which other south again do we have? It was determined by a large, and of course the FCT. Let's just pick it like that. A lot of people who came out to vote with this age group, and they came out in numbers. You didn't hear INEC say 87 million PVCs were collected. Half of that number were young people. Do you understand? So,
but you know, I asked that question.
Okay, go on.
Because the speculation now is that the election was not free and fair.
No, okay, yeah. So
that's what I'm saying. Is it truly that? Is it the youth that truly
voted? Okay. So now that's a tough one. It's the way you put it now, but
yes.
How do I put it down? It used to be before that these young people don't come out to vote. So this time around they all came out to vote.
That's true.
But they couldn't vote. Okay, so answer your question is, even though they came out to vote, there were too many discrepancies with INEC. There was the ineptitude was really bad. So people came out to vote, yes, but they couldn't vote. So it wasn't about whether it was free and fair. Initially, okay, it's actually part of it. So don't let me discredit that, because I know they will come for me now with my chances. So the process was not open as we had anticipated. I mean, if you go and watch all the videos of the INEC chairman in the last 1 year, he's been saying the same thing. It will be free and fair. It will be electronic. It will be determined by this. You know, so yes, the youth came out to vote, but they could not perform their civic duties. So that was one problem. So maybe that number, but it's still registered though. Their number is still shoe.
Yes.
I want to say it's still shoe. Past tense of show.
Their number is still shoe.
Yeah, so you were going to add something. Sorry, I interrupted you.
I forgot what I wanted to say.
Sorry, your line of thought back.
Yes.
So the thing is, we've been clamoring for youth participation for a long time, and they turned out in their large
and
numbers.
Honestly, people felt that this election would be the freest,
and the fairest because of social media, especially social media.
From the social media, also the machine, the beavers. Everybody had faith. Yes, everybody had faith in it that as we are voting, our votes are counting. We are not going to use the paper 1, 2 like that.
But that's what we're hearing.
But that's what
1, 2. So let me ask you now, having seen that, what happened on the 25th of February is the same thing that's been happening since 1999. Do you think more young people will come out to vote?
Of course.
Do you think that people will still discourage them?
To me, I believe people will still, I don't know. I think it's actually 50-50, because some people have started destroying their voters' cards. I saw some videos trending online. People were bending their cards.
See, that's the thing with my Gen Z. That's my challenge with Gen Z.
But some people are like, we are not going to give up. We are still going to fight. 4 years is just by the corner. Before you know it, that election will come again, and we are still going to go out and vote and fight it. So it's, I don't know, it's 50-50, you know.
You said it's 50-50.
It's 50-50. Some people are, but me, I think I didn't vote this last time, but seeing everything, it has only gingered me to get my PVC for the next election and vote.
Okay, so yes. I've heard from you. I want to also now hear from our friend and colleague on Perspectives. Okay. I want to put a call through to Joy Asionye. She's listening right now. Unfortunately, she couldn't join us in the studio today, so we have to do this via phone today. So while she joins on the conversation, I've heard from you. You are saying it's 50-50, that it's not going to affect things.
It's going to affect and it's not going to affect. There are two ways, but I don't know which is going to win.
Oh, okay.
And also,
hello.
Hi, Joy.
Hi, good afternoon.
Good afternoon. I know, don't worry, I've established for you that everybody is seeing where in Nigeria right now.
It's horrible, honestly.
Yeah, so even though the NMPCL has assured us that there's more than enough fuel on ground to last us for 45 days, it's barely even 10 days since the last election and we're going through this already.
I can't even explain the kind of suffering Nigerians are subjected to. It's bad enough that we have to manage ourselves with the cash crunch, and here we are again talking about fuel queues. And every time you see fuel queues, there's a ripple effect on transportation.
Absolutely.
And prices. And these are Nigerians that cannot afford $1 a day already for meals. Yeah. And when we put into consideration these other hurdles we must have to put on top of it all, I must say we are very resilient people. There are some countries I know half of the nation will go into serious anxiety and depression if they have to be subjected to half the things we Nigerians take for granted.
Yes.
I mean, I've been in a fine girl like me.
She has sent me a picture of herself.
I have to send you a picture so you understand. I've been in a fuel queue. I have a friend who would have made it seamless for me, but it's crazy, even for him too. As the manager, I thought, going through the exit, entrance rather, going to the exit, driving into the station through the exit.
Yes.
And even at that, it's so difficult. People have all gathered there. I'm a very grateful person. I don't know how to hustle.
You don't have to hustle, Bele.
Sorry. You solely supply.
Yeah, sorry. So I want to actually write on your experience right now. Because in the last 3 months, this has been our romance with the situation in Nigeria. It's either, at first we had money, but we could not buy fuel. And then there was fuel, but we did not have money to buy. And now there's no money and there's no fuel. So that didn't affect things because Saturday young people came out to vote in their large numbers, as in droves. Many people have said that this election, it is the youth that own it. So, having said that, and then the outcome of the elections that did not pan out just as, we had said, in fact, many young people were saying this is the opportunity to kick out the old guard. Our elders have failed us. And so we are taking the mandate, in our hands, but things turned out differently at this election. So I want to ask you, do you think young people are discouraged with how things turned out? Do you think that because Muna, pointed out a few minutes ago that a number of young people have started burning their PVCs and that going forward they're probably not interested in the electoral process. So she's voting that it's a 50% chance that more young people will still come out, but that the other half, they're not likely to be interested. What do you think, though?
Okay. Now we need to go to the basics. 94 million Nigerians registered for this
PVCs. Yes, 87 was given out.
87.2 million was given out.
Yes.
Meaning 6.2 did not receive their PVC.
Yes.
In that 87 million, we recorded in the presidential elections just 24 million
votes.
About that.
Yes.
24 million votes.
For all the parties.
For all the political parties.
Yes.
That is concerning enough. That is absolutely concerning. And now, in that 24 million, we have people who voted but did not feel like there was transparency and that there was electoral fraud.
Yes.
So you tell me, if you have to travel all the way back home to exercise your voting right, and you travel, maybe planning to travel again for the gubernatorial election, please tell me if after the outcome and the hiccup, because INEC would very conveniently now admit to Nigerians and say, oh yeah, we acknowledge that we had technological issues, we acknowledge that we had logistic issues, we acknowledge that the staff conduct was not optimal, but the question is, these are the same assurances that we got over
a year ago, and consistently up till the day of the election.
Exactly, at the build-up of the elections. I remember we in the media were constantly
every
asking questions, interrogating everything that could possibly go wrong. We interrogated, and I won't give it to them. They give assurances. My sister, it wasn't just in Nigeria. They went across the world. And it's very embarrassing when this international community that came to observe the election would tell you to your face that it was very flawed. And I'm not saying that there's such an election in the world that is beyond
perfect
or perfect. But I'm telling you that so much more could be done. I did not see a Nigeria where in 2023 we're having problems with logistics for sensitive materials to get into the polling unit. We saw ad hoc staff seeing beavers and not knowing what in the world to do with beavers. In fact, electorates who were not trained and prepared.
They were the ones showing them what to do.
Well, we're the ones showing them what to do. I joined civil society organizations to do observing on that day. Yes, I observed that day. I can tell you that it was horrible. People were in the worst of temperatures, waiting just so that they can vote. And there were places where voters came to personnel, INEC personnel came so late into the polling unit. And you know, when I hear people, they are protesting here and all of that, frankly, I'm against protest because I know how volatile the country
it can be. And
I know how with a small spark it can go left. So I am totally against protest. I would say seek redress in court, and hopefully we would have the courts within themselves because of the trust in that department. But my problem is, would I fault them for also exercising their human rights?
No.
It would be difficult for me to do that. So I can understand the pains of people who would tear. I'm seeing videos, of course, of people tearing their breaking their PVCs. I'm seeing videos of people saying there's no point. I mean, if I will vote, I can see how many my polling units had, and when it is announced it's different. What's the damn point? I can understand the thing. And frankly, I wish I could be as optimistic. As Muna.
To give 50-50.
As Muna to even say there's going to be 50% turnout. But I am not. I know people who traveled. I know several people who traveled just so that they can
participate
at the presidential polls. And I know people who had planned to travel again for the gubernatorial who are saying, what's the point? They're saying, what's the point?
So you do
understand that there is already voter apathy. Even with all the assurances. Okay, you were saying something.
So that's what I was going to happen. That we used to say that the voter apathy was the problem, but we did not have voter apathy this time around. People came out in droves. So right now the INEC is the problem. So and you have. The funny thing, the INEC has actually always been it has always been logistical issues. It has always been, of course, I remember in 2019, it was card readers over by beavers. The argument was always within there. I remember a lot of old people were saying, they do not want the beavers because the people in the rural areas are not educated. But you just pointed out something very, very important to this. Who were the ad hoc staff that INEC employed? University graduates who were doing N1. You understand?
Went into that. and INEC today is telling us all over again that, maybe we have to train them again because it seems like they're
what kind of train? I want it to happen that as well, that they trained them a whole week before the elections. I mean, they showed us a computer room. I commented, I said, all the computers in that room are brand new. I hope they're going to do a setup. We had INEC, in fact, you have reminded me, I'm going to bring the ladies back here into the studio. They came to do voter education exercise, but it did not seem that even their staff were well versed on the use of on what they were even supposed to do on election day. But so thank you so much for for your comments on this, Joy, because if you see the mood of Nigerians right now, you'll be tempted to say, okay, in spite of it all, they will still turn up. Especially because the elections for the presidential elections have raised the stakes for the gubernatorial elections. Suddenly, everybody wants to know, okay, we know there's a president-elect, but we're interested in the governorship election in his state in particular.
It's more like they want to get their revenge through the...
Exactly. So, so I hear there's going to be a lot of revenge voting, which actually occurred. What do you think of this? Because they say the Labour Party, which was the third force in this, in this current elections, they said they garnered a lot of votes because people want to boot out the old guard, and so it didn't matter who was going for Senate. They just went LP. So there was a lot of revenge voting. Do you think that that's what's going to happen again during the gubernatorial election?
Of course, there will be some who would say, there's going to be revenge voting. But have you heard about that other school of thought by saying that we are businessmen, we are Igbos, and we are in Lagos right now, we are businessmen, and just as much as we want governance that will reflect in development and interest of Nigeria, we also want peace. And if peace means having these people who have the capacity to make life unbearable for us.
Exactly.
Without recourse. Remember that without recourse. You remember what happened during
NSAS. I remember.
Exactly. As I'm talking to you, some people are still incarcerated.
They have not recovered. Yes.
Exactly. And some people are traumatized and all of that. And there's also the school of thought that says, if we allow them go, I beg, it's their state after all.
Exactly. So because on social media they make it okay, go on.
Yeah, while you will hear those who say, you know what, I will go out and vote, they also understand that it's very risky because of the terrain. Our electoral process, unfortunately, is characterized by so much violence.
Yes.
Rayo, you would agree with me that there were videos during that election where they were being intimidated.
And people, do you remember Kano in Lagos? Kano, a whole building was burnt down.
I'm concentrating on Lagos.
Yes.
If you not go vote as Siwaju for here, come on.
Yes, we all saw that video.
We all saw that. We all saw that video. And we just put while there's a school of thought that agree, let's go revenge vote and ensure that our vote is going to count this time. We are going to vote out these people. We're going to do this. There's also those who say, for our businesses and our lives' sake, let them have their Lagos.
Yes. It's on that note that I'm going to go on a quick break. I'll come back to you after our commercial break. Thank you so much, as always, Joy Asionye. I sincerely appreciate your input. I have to quickly go on this commercial break. I'll be right back.
That's fine. I'm right here.
All right. Thank you.
93.7 Citizen FM.
Let's talk about it on our favorite radio station.
We're more than just a radio station. We are a part of your life.
This call to prayer is sponsored by the Nigeria Supreme Council for Islamic Affairs.
Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar. Ashhadu an la ilaha illa أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله أشهد أن محمد رسول الله أشهد أن محمد رسول الله حي على الصلاة حي على الصلاة حي على الفلاح حي على الفلاح الله أكبر الله أكبر لا إله إلا الله.
Investigations, special reports, analysis, and breaking news. Premium Times, a leading multimedia news platform, brings to you every minute stories that helps you make informed decisions and hold public officials, individuals, and organizations accountable. We have cartoons, videos, podcasts, and other interesting content for your delight. For timely update on politics, entertainment, sport, and business, visit our website on www.premiumtimesng.com and follow us on all our social media platforms. Don't miss out.
The issues. Everybody respected that because it was coming from the president.
Purely behind it, the way the people took the battle in their hands.
Some civil servant retired without a roof over his age.
The cause.
If we cannot trust you, then you cannot take the ticket of this country. Who cannot be divulged from those who cause the crime. Honestly.
The passion.
You must have national spread. So where is it?
Why are you so concerned about that?
He said money was.
I never.
No.
The platform is always the same.
Insight on Citizen FM 93.7.
The source is constant.
My name is Lawrence Omotoso.
There is always an opportunity.
Tomorrow, Insight returns with another interesting.
Insight with Lawrence Omotoso on Citizen 93.7 FM Abuja. Be part of the experience.
Welcome to Super Citizen at Sunset on Citizen FM 93.7. This is the fun-packed radio show you heard about. Did you miss any one of our programming today? Join me, Diddy, from the Citizen Pot when we run through our programs from sunrise. Stay abreast, get informed on news roundup. It even gets better. Do you think you know Nigeria? Answer 3 questions correctly and be one of our daily winners on quizzes. It is the full package. Let's take you back way back on African Vibes. Let's celebrate the African people, the rich cultures across borders, the languages, the good food, and wealth of excellence on African Vibes. Join me every Monday to Friday, 5 p.m. to 7 p.m. It is on Citizen FM 93.7
Abuja. Wake up. Reach out. Speak up. Speak out. You are the voice of a new generation. And this is your station. Top Radio 93.7.
Abuja. Yes, where's it? I don't know. My woman, my everything. My woman, I go feel buy you anything. My woman, my everything. My woman, I go feel give you anything. My woman, oh, my everything. My woman, oh, my everything. Woman, you proper, woman, you straight. Man, a brother, your genetic trait. Waiting for you was never too late. Remember, say you want the food in on the plate. Yeah, I love me indicate, and it is so concrete. And we never lose faith for making you my soulmate. Get this one straight. Say, are you married? No matter how them yet, they can't take you any date. Do you anything, anything, anything? On the bed, first thing, early money, medicine. You want me everything, everything, everything. No, me woman to me, you mean everything. Yeah, no. My woman, my everything. My woman, I go feel buy you anything. My woman, my everything. My woman, I go feel give you anything. My woman, oh, my everything. My woman, oh, my everything. Say me girl finer, more than Diana. Other girls China, Oluwa designer. Me love her liner. No man can find her. She love me, no one reminder. Love give me joy. I'm so proud to be your baby boy. Yeah. You're such an amazing toy. Me promise you, girl, you're gonna enjoy. You got the key to me and no one can steal. No one can steal. You top the girl, them none of them cannot deal. Baby, they cannot deal. So me say, do you anything, anything, anything? On the bed, first thing, early money, medicine. You want me everything, everything, everything. No, me woman to me, you mean everything. Yeah, no. My woman, my everything. My woman, I go feel buy you anything. My woman, my everything. My woman, I go feel give you anything. My woman, oh, my everything. My woman, oh, my everything. She go say she gon' leave me dead, she go say she no be my woman. She for now leave me dead, she go say she no be my woman. Me I no go leave my woman. If I get a chance, somebody go just lift my woman. See the attitude, come on, hey, look my woman. She because you don't have next normally, you feel say if you take my woman. Even if you ask her, she go tell you say me girl finer, more than Diana. Other girls China, Oluwa designer. Me love her liner. No man can find her, she love me, for me, no one reminder. I don't know. My woman, my woman, oh, my everything. My woman, I go feel by you anything. My woman, oh, my everything. My woman, I go feel give you anything. My don't know. Yeah. A woman like Mama Pat the ranking, you're my woman, my everything. A woman like Cut the ranking. My woman, my everything. Gemstone, you're the boss. I'm a woman.
We teach girls shame. Close your legs, cover yourself. We make them feel as though by being born female, they're already guilty of something.
So I think right now we have the chance to be heard, and that's why we're doing it. We're all doing it because we're asking to try and elicit change.
No woman should sit down and allow a man to speak about her reproductive rights.
But it is about opening spaces for other women and not to be seen as token, and that because I'm a woman, I'm only speaking about women at the table. No, I'm speaking about side of the table that is empty and that women have to be there. So
I want us to leave this world better than we found it. And how I choose to affect change is by speaking up. by being the first and by being the dominant.
Over 4 billion of the world's population are girls and women, also faced with challenges that affect our world and contributing solutions to them. Let's have conversations and get some answers to them through their eyes and voices. Tune in to Perspectives, where we discuss important issues ranging from climate change, politics, health, the economy, and lifestyle on Citizen FM 93.7 Abuja. Weekdays from midday. Perspectives. Conversations that matter.
Hello, Abuja. You are listening to 93.7 Citizen FM, the latest radio station based in Nigeria's capital. Our station seeks to broadcast a broad mix of culture and views with priority given to development programming to enable residents share ideas and opinions, music and drama. At Citizen FM, we believe in progressive talk and solution-driven conversation. Our aim is to build a united Nigeria by bringing people of diverse culture together through communication. Enjoy listening to 93.7 Citizen FM. We are more than just a radio station. We are a part of your life.
This is 93.7 Citizen FM, Abuja.
It's 1 o'clock.
Time for news on the hour.
Good afternoon and thanks for staying with us here on Citizen FM 93.7 Abuja. Here's the news on the hour. President Muhammadu Buhari Sunday in Doha called on Chadian political leaders to show restraint and patriotism by identifying with the ongoing transition to democracy program in the country. The president's media aide Malam Garba Shehu stated in Abuja that Buhari gave this charge while speaking with the Chadian transition president and head of government, General Mehmet Idris Deby Itno. Buhari thanked the Chadian leader for the visit, giving assurances that as a good neighbor, he's prepared at any time to listen to the representations, political security, or any other matter. Earlier on, President Deby Itno said he visited Buhari to say thank you to the Nigerian president for his support and that of Nigeria as Chad undertakes the transition to democracy, which he said is going on well. Meanwhile, the National Population Commission (NPC) has recorded a low attendance of Nigerians during its trial exercise. The Federal Commissioner of the NPC, Tony Ayejino, disclosed this Sunday at a one-day capacity building workshop for journalists on effective reporting of the 2023 population and housing census held in Benin City. He said the trial period serves as a preparation for the organization ahead of the national headcount scheduled for March 29th to April 2nd. Ayejino disclosed the purpose of the seminar was to aid the level of publicity and public enlightenment on the coming exercise. He noted that the use of technology will be employed in the exercise without compromise. After a decade as Chinese President After a decade in Chinese President Xi Jinping's shadow, Li Keqiang is taking his final bow as the country's premier, marking a shift away from the skilled technocrats who've helped steer the world's second biggest economy in favor of officials known mainly for their unquestioned loyalty to China's most powerful leader in recent history. After exiting the ruling Communist Party's all-powerful Politburo Standing Committee in October, and despite being below retirement age, for most of his career, Li Keqiang was known as a cautious, capable and highly intelligent bureaucrat who rose through and was bound by a consensus-oriented Communist Party that reflexively stifles dissent. And that's the Citizen FM News on the hour. Thanks for listening. It's now back on Perspectives. Good afternoon.
Talk to us on 93.7 Citizen FM.
A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim.
Too short. Eunanda ni bila kane rini. Ile di kunyala na kwa bani bila vabesaka ineta Abuja ana Citizen FM 93.7. Era so metete ene ya ni bila va se no seve ini radio ononi. Eku yo ni va se no seve ini ya bani bila saka ovi eku ijumo eku Saturday ateku yo se eku etononi agugo himpoluva ava se men. Wa bani bila do ye ineta Abuja ezo wa ya kene ake wale jili nuwo do aka isana na inoku down ni. Ibila kanere ume ovi oniva se kale ni ya bani bila saka de kada wona geten aboni.
We teach girls shame. Close your legs, cover yourself. We make them feel as though by being born female, they're already guilty of something.
So I think right now we have the chance to be heard, and that's why we're doing it. We're all doing it because we're asking to try and elicit change.
No woman should sit down and allow a man to speak about her reproductive rights.
But it is about opening spaces for other women and not to be seen as token, and that because I'm a woman, I'm only speaking about women at the table. No, I'm speaking about side of the table that is empty and that women have to be there. So
I want us to leave this world better than we found it. And how I choose to affect change is by speaking up, by being the first and by being the dominant.
Over 4 billion of the world's population are girls and women, also faced with challenges that affect our world and contributing solutions to them. Let's have conversations and get some answers to them through their eyes and voices. Tune in to Perspectives, where we discuss important issues ranging from climate change, politics, health, the economy, and lifestyle on Citizen FM 93.7 Abuja. Weekdays from midday. Perspectives. Conversations that matter.
Yeah, I'm back at you. I'm back at you.
I won't let it play till the very end. 6 minutes gone past 1 p.m. You are still tuned in listening to Perspectives here on Citizen FM 93.7 Abuja. Sorry, Yoruba people like to say you just end the dance for my leg. That's exactly what I just did. It used to be that at a point in this country or anywhere in the world, whenever they play this song, once you hear that beat, everybody gets up on their feet. I remember the year was 2008. I was serving somewhere in Kwara State and I was like, my goodness, who is this Yoruba lyricist? Yeah. All right, as a way to break the, what they call it on the show this afternoon, I had to slip that in, to remember the old times when, it was bad in Nigeria, but we see they try small. This time around, we know they try at all. That's the general mood of the country. Yeah. And so we're winding down. Today's episode, we talked about the third force and its impacts on the Nigerian political scene. For young people, especially concerning the gubernatorial race, which is in a few days away, and the future of young people in Nigerian politics. Muna has been in the studio with me talking about the 50% chance of young people coming out to vote despite the disappointments of the last electoral process. Joy says she's not even giving it 50%. She thinks, they've made a sham of the whole process and we're going back to the era of voter apathy. We got a text message earlier on, so I'm going to just read the message now. It says, I think NNPCL 1 billion liters of fuel availability now wash. Okay, this was the reference to when we started the show. We talked about how, we said we don't seem well for this country, right? And so this person is talking about the scarcity of fuel in spite of the promises that the NNPCL has made. It says the queues are back. And NNPCL dust off the statements we're used to it. They just dish it out to us as per se. Citizens can do nothing. The day people in critical sectors start paying for their irresponsibility, Nigeria will be a better place. The day we Nigerians start telling the people in critical sector that enough is enough, the better for us. However, Nigerians can only speak out. Those who do the needful don't think the needful is necessary. That is why these people in critical sector in the country keep doing the same thing and putting Nigerians in the same problem. Patrick from New Caro, do you agree?
I agree, 100%.
But I think the day has come, which is why we're talking about the topic we're talking about today, that The third force, okay, maybe the third force is such a big grammar. Let's just say let me break it down. We are in a new era. We are in a new era. I mean, we have in the Labour Party has 34 people in the House of Reps. It has not happened before that. A third force. In fact, most of them are largely unknown. Yes. Whether I've heard all sorts of stories. The man from Plateau State, is it the person from Benue State? Even the person that imagined Etiosa local government in Lagos is largely unknown. You were telling me a story how over the weekends a lot of people rallied behind Banky W, saying he deserved to win, and a lady said no, it's not a Christmas hamper. People voted for the guy whether he's popular or not. So, but the thing is this: that, okay, so we have a call. I think we should take this call. Hello, good afternoon. Hello, we can hear you. Please go on. Hello. Hello. Hello, are you on? Okay, the number to dial back, the number to dial is 0818 222206. Hello, good afternoon. Okay, it's not me that is doing this one, though. I'm not the one in charge of this one. It's the network. Even the networks, they've been secretly doing their own, because, I mean, Patrick said the day we start to speak out, but Nigerians have been speaking out for years, and this time around, they put their... Okay, there's a call here. Hello, good afternoon. Good afternoon. What's your name and where are you calling from?
My name is Mohammed Moza. I'm calling from Masaka.
All right, Mohammed from Masaka, it's a delight to have you calling on Perspectives this afternoon. Please go ahead.
Yeah, you see, these people are getting it wrong. The fact that your prepared candidate will not win an election, that doesn't mean that election is not free and fair.
Okay. Go on, Mohammed. Please go on. Yes, please, we can hear you. Go on.
Yeah, in the fact that, just like I was saying, you see, in my entire life,
yes,
I've started voting in 1983 between man and God.
Wow. That's some 38 years ago.
I've never seen a free and fair election like this. People should start condoning this election for God's sake. For our country, if we truly want this country to move forward.
Okay.
We've got a president that agreed to prepare, to organize free and fair election. And yes, because you are candidate to win, people are criticizing it.
Okay.
You are talking about Lagos, for example.
Yes.
I've never in my life, even I can even pay my 1 trillion naira that nobody can beat Tinubu in Lagos. But look what happened. And yes, it's not free and fair. So where any other party win, that's a free and fair election. But where the APC or PDP win, come on, let us be fair to ourselves.
All right, so I hear you loud and clear, Mohammed. But you see, that's not the conversation we're having this afternoon. We there's been a lot of allusion as to whether it is free and fair. That is still... that we're still having that conversation. But today we're talking about the fact that we have a party that is young, relatively a baby party compared to the two popular parties. And we saw that it has stirred, it wasn't about the party, it was about the personality, which is something we emphasize. And that it has inspired a lot of young people to go out and get their PVCs and still turn up on election day. So we're talking about that and the impact it has on the Nigerian political scene. So that's what we're talking about. That, what's happened at the last polls, will it discourage or will you say, let us go again? That's the conversation we're having today. So it's okay. Well, about the elections being free and fair, the INEC has come out to say, okay, you know what? We do admit that there was a lot of what they call it, discrepancies. So that they are going to court to seek redress on that matter. But today we're talking about that. This election we knew it was going to be the turnaround that we're looking for, right? So so that's what we're having. The conversation today is really about the third force.
And one thing I realize is that...
Let me take this call. Sorry, okay. Muna. Sorry I cut you off.
No problem.
Hello, good afternoon. Please go on. Good afternoon.
Okay, my name is Patrick.
Good afternoon, Patrick. Thank you. I saw you've been trying to call on the other number, so thank you so much for calling back.
Yeah, I was trying to listen to what the last caller said. What was he saying? I can just summarize it.
Okay, so he says that just because the last election did not favor a certain group of people, they say it was not free and fair. And so he said he could bet his 1.3 million naira, or was it dollars he said? I didn't quite catch that. On the fact that he could have sworn that Lagos could not have swung the way it swung. But look at how things turned out. And in spite of that, people say the elections were not fair, despite the fact that the opposition lost one Lagos State. So he said it was not free and fair. So in summary, that's what he said. So it's not because you did not win, you say it's not free and fair. So go on.
The truth of the matter is entitled to his opinion.
Absolutely. So is everyone.
The truth remains that there was crisis in Lagos. We saw on Nation Day how talks. It was a live video, and this is not the first time.
We did mention that video.
Hello.
We mentioned the video, earlier on. Yes.
The first time we are seeing this kind of act in Lagos State, 2019. When I was watching this on Channel Television, I saw people came in, took the
ballot boxes.
Their faces were there for everybody to see.
Yes.
If the police wanted to,
nobody prosecuted them. Yes.
Hello?
Yes, please go on.
If the police want to identify who these people are, definitely they will know them.
Yes.
This one that happened now, present now. The man that was telling people that if you don't vote a certain candidate, you should leave this place.
Exactly.
They know his voice.
We mentioned that video.
They know his voice. So if they want to stop all these things, they should go after him and stop him and stop it. Yes, people are complaining because of the process. People are getting it all wrong. It's not because of their preferred candidate no way. No, that's not what people are angry over. It is the process. And if you check it, according to the statement of INEC chairman, we have played it over and over again.
Go on, Patrick.
Hello?
Yes, go on. We can hear you.
Yeah, was different used in that presidential election? Yes, it was used. When it was time for it to transmit the result of National Assembly, it was used. When it came to presidential election, how comes all of a sudden the people stopped working? So that is what people are
angry about.
Explanation for.
Yes.
And so far so good. I watched the INEC chairman where he was saying that the state works. They should make sure that they put everything in place, that anybody that is not culpable will not be pardoned. And I wonder, you are seeing this thing, you that fail at the national level, who will punish you?
Exactly.
So the truth is that nobody should take it as if it is a fight between us and them. No, this is about Nigeria, please.
Absolutely.
We want to get it right. And I can again say that election is not perfect anyway.
Yeah.
Yes, I agree. But can we make our own perfect a little bit? Let it be fair to everybody.
Yes.
See, the way it is right now, Nigerians are suffering.
Absolutely.
People are suffering. People came out that day just to end the suffering.
Yeah.
So far, you people are talking about fair queue. You will queue for fuel. You will queue for your money. You will, in that police station, you will also leave your car.
Exactly.
Go to the POS and queue.
Absolutely. That's the latest trend.
The truth is that I want to just use this opportunity to tell our leaders, they should wake up to their responsibility.
Yeah.
I don't want a situation where Nigerians will react. See, if Nigerians react, they are not safe. Because the police that are guiding them, the soldiers that are guiding them, they have their families live here. Their families live here. They don't live in the moon. So when that time comes, they will look for how to protect their own family, not the leaders. So I just for it not to happen. You're there to say that if Nigeria was another country, the atmosphere would have been so tense.
Absolutely.
And that is true. We saw in one of these countries that it was just bread, increase in bread, that the nation rise up and protest.
That was the French Revolution, 1789, and of course the Arab Spring of 2011.
Look at what we are going through, and the leaders are doing as if they don't care. They are not seeing. They are not seeing something of the people. Please, Mr. President, wake up.
Thank you so much for your contribution, Patrick.
Thank you, Patrick.
We always appreciate it when you are civil and you make your comments in a civil and a very, a brief manner that makes it, inclusive for everyone. So thank you so much for that contribution. Let me let you have a go at what Patrick has just said.
Okay, Patrick.
Yes, reacting to what he has just said.
Well, he made
you
a
agree?
lot of sense. I agree, of course. Yes. I agree that our leaders should indeed wake up to what is going on around us.
I think the people have woken up, Seth. Go on.
It seems everybody are thirsty for the whole leadership, being leader, this one, that one. Okay, if you are given that position, will you actually do what you are supposed to do? It's not all about fighting. And one funny thing is that, okay, if you truly have Nigeria at heart, as you claim you do,
yes,
if another person should win, I don't think it should hurt you that much.
There's a call.
Okay.
Hello, good afternoon. Sorry, Muna. Sorry I interrupted you.
Okay.
The number to dial is 08. Okay, go on. Hello, good afternoon. Hello, good afternoon. Please go on.
Yeah, Mohammed is fine.
All right, Mr. Mohammed, please go on.
Yeah, you see, like I was saying,
yes,
in fact, Nobody will tell you that he doesn't like remote votes. You understand? But the fact that election, I mean, there was election on the 25th February, and that election that I was telling you, in my experience, it is the best election I've ever won. Though definitely there must be pitches here and there.
Yes.
Because we didn't saw what happened in the United States in 2016. This is about more than 200 years democracy. And yet you find some pitches. You understand? So for somebody to say one day that we can have a perfect system, I mean, we are just about to please my sister.
Thank you so much.
I'm not supporting anybody to tamper with people's mandate.
Yes.
But at least we are going there. We are already, I mean, we are making progress. Whether we like it or not, there's a good to 1999. Remember 2003? Now we saw in some part of this country. Ballot automatic.
But the same thing happened in 2019 as well.
I saw how young men came with guns.
Yes.
Shooting was fast. So much ballot was as in ballot, I think tomorrow, no day. For God's sake. And we've seen improvement. Whether we like it or not, there is improvement in 2011. Let us appreciate, I mean, Mr. President, for giving us free happy. I mean, look at the imagine. You people said somebody came from nowhere, the Labour Party. Nobody knows Labour. Look at how created all over.
That has actually been that's our focus on the conversation this afternoon. That, you know, so that's progress. That's progress in your words. Yes.
So
that's progress.
I mean, for getting that kind of stuff.
Yes.
You understand?
Thank you so much.
At least there are people there. At least we should. Nobody even called to advise that. Okay, I know you put what I saw in my place. At least next time this thing should not happen. People are just criticizing it as if nothing happened.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for your contribution. We appreciate your, contribution. So what he's trying to say is, that in spite of the glitches, during the election, we have another call. Hello, good afternoon. If you can hear me. Hello, good afternoon. Oh dear. Well, our time is fast spent, and we're wrapping up on the show today.
Saying something.
Yes. So what he was saying is what I said before. His call came in that the Labour Party is the third force. We all know they are the ones that it's not a new party, so to say. But concerning this, holding it up to the big guys, they did commendable well. The Labour Party at the presidential polls got 12 states, just as much as the other two opposition parties got 12 states each. And
that's when you know that is the
so we've made progress
exactly.
And over the years we've been saying that when Nigeria is ready, we will hold people accountable for the right things to do, and which is what Patrick mentioned earlier on. So what I'm saying is, I think that time has come, and to understand, what Joy said earlier on, that it's not about violence. No, we don't encourage violence, but people actually want to do the right thing, their civic responsibility to make Nigeria move forward, and it is by voting the right people into office. So yes, there's a lot of back and forth. I'm sure that by 2027 we'll get it better, than what has turned out now.
Hopefully.
A lot of people were booted out of the Senate. The Senate is where a lot of people, and House of Assembly is where, is where we should have focused on in the first place. But everybody was focusing on presidency. So, but now we get it. When you put the right people in office, they make the right policies. They're the ones that will determine. At the local government, if you do you even know who your local government chairman is? Go and vote in the right local government chairman. Go and vote in the right governors. Let's start from there. Leave the number one seat alone for now. But I like also that young people proved the point with the number one office. You came out in droves. You say, okay, this is the person we want based on personality. So we're not ready for an ideological president, so to say. We're still voting based on personality. Yes. It's not new in Africa, and it might not change for a while. I heard some people saying that even if Peter Obi was not interested, they will drag him by force and say it is you that we want. So you've made the show really exciting and informative today. Let's make the date tomorrow here on Citizen FM at the same time. The show is on at 12 till 1:30 every weekday. Thank you so much. I look forward to a beautiful and exciting time out on the next episode of Perspectives. From me, it's bye-bye and Muna.
Bye-bye.
Bye.